Wait. Okay, now we're rolling. Whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and start.
All right, bet. Welcome back to the Chris Massey Show. Today's guest, basically you a regular. Every time, if not only when we change the platforms, but you a guest multiple times, and it's always appreciated.
Man,
Super producer, multi-talented, DJ, just all around innovator. Welcome back to the show, Nick Speed.
thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. Chris Massey, I'm just so proud of you, man, and
Thank
everything
you.
that you've been able to achieve, man, and over these years, man. I mean,
Man.
it's been a lot of years now, man. You kind of like a veteran with this. Like you've been doing this, man. So I love to see it, man. And every time
Thank you,
that
man.
I come to your platform, it's always a step up.
Thank you.
It's always a step up, man. So I gotta give you kudos on that.
Thank you, man. That means so much, man, because you're one of the people that I admired and respected before we started working together. It's
Yeah.
it's one of them full circle moments for me. 'Cause I'm like, I know you don't have plenty of them.
Oh
you start
man, a
somewhere.
lot of full circle moments, man. You know what I mean? But even with you, man, I mean, it's just like just to see you come up. I mean, I've seen your clothing on like, all def. You know what I mean? What was it all def
Yeah.
digital and stuff
Yeah.
like that? Like randomly, like not looking for it. You know what I'm saying? And then like I wear it, and people be like, "Oh, Chris," like stuff like that. So it's
Right, yeah.
it's like you getting around, man. I love it, man. I love to see that, man. It's a
Thank you.
we just love to see our people doing great. You
And
know what I
that's-
mean?
Yeah, and that's great that you went into that because thinking about when we were setting up this interview, I'm like, he's a genuine innovator. We like to, when I say the genuine, because it's like,
Yeah.
you don't have to deal with people on
Man.
at the level that you done that you at, and it's just
That's a
like
blessing, man. Let me tell you, man. Because now it's like dealing with people is like dangerous now. You know
right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah.
Just even health wise.
yeah,
You know what I mean? You don't even want to be around.
we can't
bro.
kick it like we used to.
Right, man. Which is kind of sad because, like,
Yeah.
as a DJ, one of my jobs is based off of people coming together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just glad that I'm capable of making music.
Right.
Because if I was only a DJ,
Oh man.
man, I'd be hurting, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But fortunately, my music does well. And again, man, I just want to thank you for bringing me to this platform because you and I always have great conversations,
Man, you be
even off the
dropping-
record.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, with him, I got to keep the mic high. 'Cause
Yeah.
I never know, man. As soon as we turn it off, then you just telling me about something historical, and I'm
Man, we done chopped it up for hours on the line. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And all of that, bro. Like just in person, like kicking it downtown, all of
Yeah.
that stuff, man. So
and that's why I say I appreciate you because a person of your high level of achievement, and you're so genuine with. I've seen you how you interact with everyone. You know? You show. That's probably why you get it back because you show up.
Oh man, listen, man. I didn't know everybody didn't think like this. You know?
Man, you a lot like that because we like, oh, you cool there? I'm like, ain't everybody?
Yeah,
Or what-
I
how's they-
thought
how's
everybody was like
How's
this.
they treating you?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know it was so special to be, a good, nice person or something. You know what I'm saying? Or to want to be happy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen a post with Diddy talking about 2022. He said he was gonna be happier this year, and I said I'm gonna adapt that. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Diddy be coming with some good words sometimes.
Yeah. Right.
Like certain little posts, I'd be like, that was a good post. You know what I mean? Like just like little stuff he say. But he's a motivational type of person
Yeah.
as well. So he's one of my top inspirations, especially with Notorious Big being one of my favorite rappers of all time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like besides that, I'm also influenced by Diddy as a producer. And so one of the things that inspires me about him is kind of like the fact that he started off, I guess, as like a background dancer.
Yeah.
And then like this guy became a producer, he became an actor, he became a mogul, he became a clothing icon. So, that just shows you that, people are capable of more than what you might see, in front of you.
Yeah.
And it's like, that inspired me to want to, do multiple things.
To that point, I'm glad you brought that up because likewise, he's been one of the people who influenced me on the business side. And to your point, I was like, what's dope about him is that he, like all those different lanes that you mentioned, he never let people label him. Like,
Right.
because be like, as I remember, they made a joke in the early '90s, or early to late '90s. They even made a SNL TV Funhouse skit, and they was like, "What does he do?"
Right,
Like,
exactly.
You can't let, and I was like, "No limits." Master
Man,
P,
you know what's funny
what
now that you mentioned that? I actually remember being in Detroit in Northern Lights.
Mhm.
It was, it's like a little bar or whatever. They used to have a hip hop night.
Mhm.
I think DJ House Shoes used to spin there, and DJ Dez. This is like kind of back in the day, like Big Proof was still alive. Like he'd still be there and stuff like. And I was kind of like real young even, but I think I might have just had got on or was about to get on somewhere. I might have, but anyway, I just remember being in that place and being like in the middle of the dance floor, and for some odd reason, I had the thought of like, man, some people know me for DJing, some people know me for rapping, some people know me for producing. How can I bring it all together?
Yep.
I got to bring it all together. Like it's
Yeah.
music playing, it's a whole party going.
Right.
And it's like I just remember standing right there and having that thought.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I gotta like make everybody understand that I do all this stuff. And then like probably a year later, they all knew that I did all that stuff.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But it was a thought, and then I like kind of like shifted how I was approaching everything to make sure that people were aware that I was I guess multi-talented.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so it's like, bringing it all together, you know what I mean? And just remaining permanently inspired.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Permanently inspired. Like it's not a day that I wake up that I don't want to do what I do.
Likewise.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a
like
true
I
blessing,
love
man.
my life. Like I love
Right.
everything about it. And if I ain't never told the truth, I'm telling the truth right now when I say I love making music. I love DJing. I love being an artist. I love coming up with clothing and logos, and I'm not even capable of everything that I can think of.
Hey,
You see what I'm saying? It's like I might have to have somebody help me with certain stuff because I don't even know how to run it on the program. I'm like, oh, can we do the such and such? You know what I'm saying? Like, so, just again, like I'm probably about to come out with my first movie pretty soon.
Oh, nice.
You know what I
nice.
mean? I'm writing it right now. So that was something I always
That's
wanted
gonna be
to do.
super dope. I already know. Man.
Yeah, man. I think that might end up being like one of the best things I ever did.
And I'm not gonna be surprised, but I want to ask you, since you mentioned that, because you're so multi-talented, is it too early for you to say, or are you gonna score it too?
Absolutely. You know I'm gonna score
Because that's
it.
the like the
why
best
wouldn't
situation.
I?
You
I
know.
mean, who else am I gonna get to score it? I mean, unless I got. I mean, you know what? Like I know who I'm gonna work with though.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just off the top of my head, this is just coming to me. But shout out my man Piranha Head.
Okay.
He scores. He has the soul. What is it? Soulchestra or something like that. And they're like violins. I've hired them before to do some music with me
Nice.
for the Decipher project, actually. And he like writes out the music. Like I can come up with the music. He'll write out the string parts, and then he'll bring in like 5 players, and then they just come right in and they'll just knock it out.
All right.
So when it comes to strings and stuff like that, I know who I'm gonna hire for that. Shout out Piranha Head. It's coming through soon, my dog. Big Uncle P.
That's what the reason I asked that. Yeah, it's a no-brainer because it's you.
Yeah. But
it's
you know,
like a
I mean,
dream.
but it's like, again, like, I have to shift into a whole nother mode, like, and put 1,000% into that, into the actual movie part. So, when that part is done, then I come with the score.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But actually writing it, the music is part of writing it. It's like, you start imagining the music that will play
Right.
during this scene. You like, even the music actually is a big inspiration in it because you like, oh man, this is gonna be like when the such and such was happening with this and that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is that era where blah blah blah. So yeah, the music is always actually an inspiration for the writing of the movie. So hopefully you guys get the chance to see that real soon.
So I know music is like the most one of the significant components of your life.
Yeah.
Is that how you started? Like, what aspect of music did you say this is what I want to be a professional in first, and how did everything else come together?
The first thing was DJing, and that came from. So I don't know if you know, but like when I basically was like what they call a child prodigy. So at the age of 4 years old, I actually was a host of a radio show.
Damn. Wow.
So I might be the youngest on-air radio personality ever.
Man, right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, on the radio,
Man.
having a show mic like this,
4 years old.
interviewing people. 4 years old.
That's dope.
So
Well, you born to do it, literally.
yeah, I guess so, man. You know, I mean, it's a whirlwind of how it all happened. You know what I'm saying? Because from what I understand, my mom took me to get a haircut. They thought I talked very well for my age. They was like, you should take them down to the Children's Museum. Took me down there, had an audition. I nailed it. Because I'm just coming with all this personality. I'm
Right,
4 years old.
then.
I'm still, exactly. I'm still the guy. You know what I'm saying? But just the younger version. So,
Right.
you know, they was like, yeah, we got to put him on the radio. So I had a radio show.
Man.
And then what I didn't know, because I was so young, you know how they was teaching me how to edit the show. Like, you know, this is like way back. So it was like actual tapes and
Oh, right.
stuff like that. So I was like actually using razor blades, cutting tapes and stuff. And I thought they was just teaching me how to do this, but little did I know, I was actually editing the show for real. I was like, oh, okay. I had no idea that I was really editing the show. I thought they was just showing me how to do it. Like, no, that's your job.
But that's the beauty of children. They're a sponge. You don't know what you're learning. And here you got a skill set that people get paid. That's a career for people.
So now I'm an audio engineer.
At
You
4.
get what I'm saying? Right, exactly. In current day, I'm a Pro Tools engineer. You see what I'm saying? And it's the same exact thing that I was doing at 4 years old.
Right.
So I've been doing this for like my whole life. For real. Like the exact same thing. I just didn't know. I had no idea I would become a music producer.
Right.
I didn't even. Honestly, I was just thinking about this recently. I didn't know what a music producer really was. You know what I mean? Until, I want to say, I was listening to like, when I seen self-produced rappers, that's when I started noticing what a music producer was.
Right.
So like, it was like D-Nice, Tribe Called Quest. You know, it would say produced by Tribe Called Quest or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, damn, they made their own beats too. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Or like
Q-Tip was getting busy.
Q-Tip, yeah, hey, right. Little did I know Q-Tip was getting busy in the lab, dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they always have, I thought it was the DJ Ali making all the beats. It just made sense. Okay, he's the DJ, he must make all the beats.
Right.
No, it was my man Tip.
But
Going
people like
crazy.
y'all, when you got that, the way I see y'all working, it's like you have to love it. Can't nobody make you do that.
Yeah, you really do
I
have to
see your
love it
studio,
because,
man, I'll be
yeah,
like-
it's like, you know what? Dog, you know the amount of music that I've consumed,
Right.
this type of things that I listen to, average ears can't even take it probably.
I want to your point, and this is a compliment to you because, you know, I like celebrating people like with the brilliant music minds that I respect and admire and appreciate because I know how y'all wired as people like you and Questlove.
Oh man.
Because y'all music IQ, like you said, there's certain stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
I got
man.
my lane that I'm, I know is good to me.
Listen, man.
But you just,
Shout out to my man Questlove, man. He's a big inspiration for me too, man. I actually, like, you know, I grew up in an era where like we used to take advertisements out of magazines and like post them in your room, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I used to take the Source magazine and just cut it up
yeah.
and just like tape it on the wall, like as inspiration for me to, you know, what I was gonna do, like, you know, with my life, I guess, or just maybe it just inspired me to be fresh at school.
Right. Yeah,
I don't know.
Right.
Like, I don't know why we did that. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, you know, you look at that, you like, because I guess because at that point, only going out I was doing was going outside and riding my bike.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't at a club or anything, so I was trying to live hip hop, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I take all the hip hop quotables out of the Source magazine and I just like have like a little section on my wall and I just like cut them out and just put them right there. So I might have had like 10 of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it inspired me to want to be, you know, make something that will be a hip hop quotable.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, this is the funny thing that I've never said in an interview, right?
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, this is a joker moment. No, I'm playing. So check this out. Nas, Illmatic, 5 mic classic, right?
Yep.
This is back when music reviews mattered.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, you know, you get 5 stars. That's oh man, right? As much as I love that album, and I do love it, and I think it's probably like one of my biggest inspirations in my career, especially. It ain't hard to tell. I excel and prevail. The mic is contact when I react clientele. I mean, like, you know, I know that album word for word,
Exactly.
note for note. It wasn't so much the music that inspired me. It was the fact that this guy got 5 mics, and I got to get 5 mics.
Right.
So that was the whole thing.
Man.
I think I don't think that's ever been discussed. Like, was it the music, or was it the fact that the man got 5 mics and you like, this is something to strive for?
Yeah, because he got
the highest achievement that you could get at that moment in time as a, I guess, underground hip hop artist.
That's
right.
it's like,
It's
okay,
set
now
the
I
bar.
gotta get 5 mics.
Now I gotta get 5 mics.
You don't get 5?
Oh man, you don't get 4.5. Oh no, bro. Like,
Am I what?
anything under 4, you're done. That was not good.
Right.
Like 4 is like respectable. Like,
Yeah, it's
okay, yeah, you got a 4.
It's solid.
Because nobody gets 5, so it's like, all right, 4, cool. But it's like, I don't know. As a kid, I thought that maybe this was the consensus of everyone. This one reviewer.
Us being hip hop heads, like you said, that's our standard. It's like, okay.
Yeah, 5 mics. Oh yeah, I gotta get 5 too. So I'm gonna study every word of this shit, so I can understand what do people love about it. I mean, but then I started doing that with everything.
Right.
I started analyzing. So people say Big Daddy Kane is the greatest. Let me go buy his album from 1988.
Yep.
Like I might have missed that one. So let me go back. Let me go get that paid in full. Let me listen to that. Let me understand why people are saying that Rakim is the greatest.
Yep.
Let me go get that Beatles, that Sgt. Pepper.
Yep.
Let me listen for that note for note. Like, let me understand, why do people call this the greatest? Why do people call it, you know, some of the best music ever recorded? Why is it still played to this day?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that even like the era that I came up in, like you had like kind of like those throwback stations, like Mix 92.3.
yeah.
So they would be playing like the Isley Brothers or Al Green or something like that. And then some of those songs was introduced to me in like movies, like Menace to Society.
Yeah.
Where like
that one has some, I do
like remember they was riding to the Al Green.
Yeah.
Like I'd never heard that song before that.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
Love and Happiness. I don't remember nobody ever playing that song before that. And then it started playing on the radio, like on a throwback station. I'm like, oh, that's the song from Menace to Society.
Yep.
So it was like, that's why like when I'm writing a movie, I'm thinking like we're that now. So
Yeah.
we can be that to kids now, where we can introduce, you know, give them that feeling that
Set
we
the
got when we
atmosphere
was
up.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put
so-
you in that moment.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Not even knowing what they was doing. Because like, you know, you look at Juice with Tupac in it, that didn't have no throwback songs in it. It had songs that was current, basically, like,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? They had a whole soundtrack that they made for that.
And that was like that when they came with that Naughty by Nature.
Oh man, woo!
They-
That's still one of my favorite beats, dog.
Man.
I love that beat right there, Uptown Anthem.
Yeah.
And then that was when people used to dance like this. Like
Yeah,
Tretch.
it was a rhythm. It was
like
it
Tretch and
was-
Tupac was like standing there doing this, and it just looked so fresh on the TV. Cause like, you know, at that moment in time, you didn't have the internet to look to, so this would pop on TV, and you just see Tupac, and them like, you like, oh, I want to be like these niggas.
To that point, yo, that reminded me. So for some reason, I just went to listening back to some albums from '94 the other day. I didn't do it on purpose.
Great year.
Yeah, and I'm like, so the 3 that stood out was Blinded on Reality.
Wait, Blunted on Reality?
That Fuji's,
Oh, Fuji's. Oh, wow, you went back to that?
and I was
I
like,
didn't. I'm gonna say I had that album, but I didn't like it.
that's what I'm saying.
But how did it age though? I'm asking you because I haven't listened to that album since then.
Content wise, they was on the whole other level, like with their message and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But to your point, I brought it up because '94 had a sound,
Mm.
like that whole. Well, you know, you the producer that.
Yeah.
All of that had that same rhythm, and they didn't sound the same. It had the same feel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, this was that '94 era. Because then I started thinking, I'm like, Nas had that bounce.
Mm.
Then you think about that because I thought about Naughty by Nature immediately, and I'm like,
Man, you know what's crazy? Every time I put on a Scully like this, I be thinking I'm Tretch or something, dog, like, or Dr. Dre, because they made this shit famous, dog. The album with Hip Hop Hooray, 1993.
mm,
All I remember is the intro, dog. It was just like 1993. Boom, boom. It's like it was like they had screwed the voice or something. Like they made the voice like a deep voice.
mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't even hear the beat. I just be hearing that voice like 1993. Like it's crazy. How like certain stuff just like, you just remember that. I haven't heard that in years.
And to your point, you being the composer, people don't realize, they don't realize how much detail y'all put into these compositions, because the average person hear about maybe 2-3 songs.
Yeah.
I'm like,
for
you know
sure.
this thing is layered. Right?
No, I'm like how these headphones is on right now. Like, oh man, all I had on when I was little was headphones. Like I remember my sister be like, "You listen to that stupid rap." No, she was cool though, but you know, it was just funny. Like I'm walking around. See, Beats by Dre was not out then, so when you had big headphones like this, you look crazy.
Yeah, right.
As a kid.
But you had the real thing.
I had the real, like, I remember I bought them from Target. Like, it was like some Cost headphones. I don't even know if that company is still around. They probably changed their name or something. But, like, Cost. And the headphones was, like, this exact same size, dog. And I had, like, a CD player that I could, like, put in my pocket. And then I would walk down Dexter Ave, dog. Dexter Boulevard, dog. And I'd just walk to the barbershop. And I just have my headphones and be in my own world, bro. And then even to this day, like Bizarre from D12, he always be like, "Man, this nigga Nick Speed be in his own world, bro." And I think like it just kept going ever since then. Like ever since I put on my headphones and I didn't have to hear nothing but the rap music I was trying to hear.
Yeah.
Like it'd be like a Biggie album or like something like that.
That was 94 too. Yep.
Oh man.
That Machine Gun Funk is my favorite.
I remember I caught the bus to get that. I caught the Busted by Biggie album. Like, see, that was the thing. Like, you could have possibly missed a good album back in the day because you had to own it back then.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't just, or borrow it,
Yep.
or somebody you know had to have it.
Mm-hmm.
So certain albums, like one of my homies was asking me about, we was just discussing classic albums. And then he brought up an album that I didn't have. I think it was Sporty Thieves. And I was like, yeah, I didn't have that one. I ain't gonna lie. But that was because you had to own it though. Like you had to really spend your money on that, or go to the mall down there or something to buy this album.
Yep.
So that, you know, I might have saw the video.
That's a great point, because I usually talk about the experience that came with it.
Oh man,
You know, it's like I don't not like, you know, technology is supposed to bring certain new methods of doing things, and we evolve in different areas. But I'm like, it was a thing for something as simple as like liner notes.
Liner notes, the booklet, like
The booklet, yeah.
So
yeah,
like
right.
I remember listening to like Ghostface Killer album, Supreme Clientele, and just like looking at the pictures, or 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yeah, right.
Those pictures just look so innovative and clean. Like I never seen no pictures that look like that.
Yeah.
It was like almost like they was drawn or animated. So half the time I was just trying to figure out how did they do these pictures.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
It's like
then
a comic book.
yeah, it was like a comic book. So it's like, you know, I'm looking at these photos and stuff, and then I'm like reading every credit, like who mixed it, who mastered it, who produced. I didn't even know what or who these people was or whatever. It just was something to do as I was listening to the album.
Yeah.
So now when I release vinyl records, I'm trying to give you that same experience. So when you actually, I'm gonna make an announcement right now. Rose Spit and I, we have an album coming out soon. It's called Coney Island.
Super dope.
Yeah, Coney Island. So that's me and Rose Spit. Like how he had the group with KT Rose Gold. Like this is Coney Island. This is Nick Speed and Rose
that's
Spit.
dope. That's dope.
And he's gonna be doing some more music with KT as well as some other stuff he has coming up. But I think the first one to drop for this year will be the one with me, which is Coney Island. Nice. And we will continue to be Coney Island when we connect. And
Yeah, that's dope.
the good thing about that is like we're both DJs. And that's just crazy because I've been working with Rose Spit for 20 years.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Because I was a part of the Subterraneous crew,
Nice.
which is, One Below. I mean, all the way back to Elzai, Majestic Legend, T-Cal Meese, man, Kodak. I don't even want to start naming everybody. It was a whole lot of us. Athletic Mike League. I mean, in the beginning days, you know what I'm saying? Shout out AML because they was the first people I seen making beats on computers. Way back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just always admired that. And then, they just kept taking it up a notch. But, being a Detroit artist, we didn't necessarily think very much outside of Detroit. But we started like going around the whole Michigan. We would like do shows in Ann Arbor. We would do shows in Pontiac, Port Huron. Like we was just getting around the whole Michigan. Then we'd go to Chicago and do something.
Right. And
stuff like that. And it's like, it took somebody from Pontiac to introduce us to different areas and territories right. in just Michigan alone. Like I wasn't thinking too far outside of the hood bar. You know what I'm saying? But to your point, when you were speaking about like them having a sound back in the day and stuff like that. So this is like an observation I've made recently, like as far as creating vinyl records, right? So each side has a limit to the amount of time that you can put on each side of the record, right? So let's say that ideal amount of time that you could put on side A or side B would be, let's say, 12 minutes. So I don't know if you ever heard the story of Thriller. Like when Thriller, remember they said they thought they had the album, but then they basically pressed it up and it didn't sound right. It was something wrong with it. And they was like, and then Michael Jackson started crying like, I thought we had one. And Quincy like, no, we still got one. Hold on, give me like a week. So he like basically, cut 2 songs, added another 2 or something, maybe 1, cut the time down on certain songs. Now, the thing about that is that, keep in mind, certain amount of time per side.
Right.
So that's what the real problem was. It was too long on particular sides. Like if it's like 12 minutes, it might have been 20 minutes. And they like, no, these grooves are not big enough. You get what I'm saying? Because the bigger the groove is, the louder the record will be. You get what I'm saying? I'm just giving y'all a little bit of knowledge on like actually make the science of making records, actual vinyl records. So like, if you notice like, well, back in the day, like when they used to have like singles, like, okay, like let's say I got a new song out and I have a 12-inch, you know what I'm saying, with the song and the instrumental. Right. And then I have a B-side with the song and instrumental. So that was because, like they wanted those grooves to be as big as possible to play them in the club.
Right.
So that's why you had 12-inch records and stuff like that, or 45s and stuff like that. So like, again, like with Michael Jackson, side A, side B, it had to be a certain amount of time to make the grooves be as loud as they could possibly be. So Quincy Jones masterminded the amount of time that it had to be for it to be like perfectly loud enough and for those songs to hit exactly how they did. Man. And Bruce Swedien, the engineer, and Michael Jackson himself. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I just got to give flowers to one of the greatest albums of all time, because that's one of my very favorite albums, most favorite albums of all time is Thriller. And not to mention my father is very cool with Quincy. Like he he was friends with Quincy and like from the 70s all the way up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like multiple pictures with Quincy. So I mean, we already,
because you basically grew up in the industry.
Yeah, we know the story, man. Where my father took me to Quincy's office. I was turning like one. No, actually, it was Quincy's birthday. And, I'm like an infant. And then, like, my mom and my dad go to Quincy's office for his birthday in LA, where I was born. I guess, like, kind of like did lunch with him or something like that. And this is when he had the album called The Dude.
Right.
And this is like right before Thriller. And he's like, man, I'm about to have this crazy album with Mike, man. This is a true story.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine that conversation.
This is a true story. I don't remember it because I was like one. I might not even been one. So Quincy says, man, I got what's the guy? What's the guy that did the voiceover on Thriller? Don't Vincent Price. Mm-hmm. He was telling my dad, I got this song with Vincent Price. I'm about to do with Mike. Vincent Price at that moment in time was like a famous TV or movie dude. So he's like, wow, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then like, so Quincy asked, can he hold me or whatever? And then like, you're like, oh, look at the little baby. So he like singing, he sang Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do in my ear. Quincy Jones himself sang the scales of music in my infant ear.
Man.
I had my mom tell me this story like 100 times just to make sure it didn't change, to make sure she wasn't lying.
Hey.
And it was true. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't a photo of it, but I do know I seen photos of my parents with Quincy. I'm like, I was there? They're like, yeah. They're like, yeah. So I guess like when...
It's going to surface too. What?
So they handed me back to my mom. Quincy handed me back to my mom. And I just threw up all over her. She was actually happy. Because she was like, thank God he didn't throw up on Quincy.
Man, that's...
And I can't make this stuff up, dog.
I know. But that's, to your point, man, it's like, when you get out here and just go for it and do what you love, it's like, man, you done shared some stories before, and it's just like, I be telling people, like, you can't make this up. Like, when you just get out here and live.
Yeah.
I
mean, the funny part is, like...
so, like, just amazing.
Yeah, man, I mean...
And why would I make this up?
And why? Why would I? I mean, my imagination is cool, but it ain't that cool. Like, it ain't that... Like, you know
There's
what I mean?
no motivation for me to be making up some crazy stories. Like,
right, dog. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but it's true.
We could talk about anything, and so why would I specifically go into detail about that?
Hey, some people was good at lying like that, though.
But yeah,
some people was like, man, I mean, I'm talking about they could tell a tall tale. I've seen some people tell a tall tale, and I'll be like, is this person telling the truth?
right.
Because it's like, and see, look, again, with Biggie, right? Mm-hmm. Biggie was like, so believable,
yeah.
But his stories was like almost unbelievable. Like what? Like did this really happen?
His story, the vivid.
How vivid it was.
Yeah.
You're like, did that really happen? Like you're trying to question, like, did that really happen?
Them storytellers like listen to him and Nas.
Exactly.
You be like, yo, what's real?
Jay-Z.
What's real and what's not at this point?
Right. You're like, is he just that good of a writer, or did that really happen?
You really think that?
Right. Like yo, like so. You know, it's like being believable and unbelievable at the same time. Like, that's a talent within itself.
Right.
But no, I did not make that story up. That's a true fact.
I mean, because, wow, yeah, right.
But, you know, some people are that creative, you know what I'm saying, in real life, and they can just lie their way all the way through some shit.
But that's what I was just thinking. It was weird. Like, something like, man, so the dude came and was like, Quincy Jones when I was a baby.
Nah, man, no, that really happened.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, why would you?
Listen.
Right.
My father, I got at my house right now. Okay, what did they used to call those? I think it was like called a blue book or something. Basically, it was like a schedule, like book like this, like you know, a planner.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where you fill in a calendar, you write in like what you gonna do for that day or something. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it say like January, and then you say, oh, okay, yeah, Saturday I need to go to the doctor's office. Sunday I need to go walk the dog. You know, you write that in.
Right.
There's a planner at my house right now that Quincy Jones gifted my father.
Damn.
And it has my dad. It's a brown leather cover, and on the front it just has my dad's name in gold, and it's like, you know, like a border, like a rectangle gold border. They got like his name like right here.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying? It got like his name right there, and that's the only thing on the cover. And then on the back it say Quincy Jones Productions.
Dope.
Swear, bro, I got it. I can show it. I should have brought it.
That's super dope.
I should have brought it, but I'm gonna
'Cause
show
you
that
got-
off.
You mentioned that, man. I remember I was at the studio one time. You showed me this rare Slim Village or Dilla tape.
Oh, absolutely.
Which one was? I got a picture of it.
Oh yeah,
it was like
it
20.
Fantastic Volume 1 with the sticker on the front.
Yep.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
original, original cop, like a.
Yeah, the original copy. That like, who knows? Dilla himself might have personally put that sticker on there or something. I don't know. I mean, I know the YG has something to do with the creation of that tape and QD, but the members of Slum Village, and you know, the only original member we have left now is T3. But Batin, rest in peace. Jay Dilla, rest in peace. They were a big inspiration for me, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, I heard their music and I just couldn't believe these beats. I couldn't believe, and it was like, you know, I guess, you know, in the era they grew up in, they kind of probably came up off of like James Brown and stuff. So they was more like in the pocket type of rappers. Like, it's like they
Them
rhythm was
them
just
cadences
cold.
was crazy.
Yeah, they cadence and rhythm was just doing you're doing well. What you do? Like it's like they just, but they would put words with this, so it's like almost like how you can't really understand James Brown.
Right.
It's like they was rapping like that, but they was like doing it in a calm, cool player way. You know what I'm saying? It was like some shit you never heard before, but it was dope, man. I loved it.
Them innovators, man.
Yeah.
From where we from, and that's why, you know, those are people I seek out. Like y'all, like I said, I be watching, man. Like,
You know what's crazy? Like I was like, Detroit is so spoiled, man, because we have such great musicians here. Like
some people take it for granted.
we do, man, because you know, like I was listening to like some old music from back in the day. I think it was, you know, it was some old music that wasn't from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, nah, them punchlines would have never flew in the city. You know what I'm saying? Because like in the city, I mean, what was the stuff like Eminem would be saying stuff like, make you throw up your hands like you swallowed your fingers. Like what? Whoa, hey, whoa, stop everything.
Right.
Stop. Everybody relax. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't hearing these type of punchlines from other places.
Yeah.
But I was also a fan of all the music from other places. But when I was hearing Detroit was just like, they had to go 10 times harder to even get noticed by anybody.
Yeah.
So you have an Eminem or Esham or Proof or, you know, Slum Village and them just doing the most. You know what I'm saying? Just going extra, you know, with whatever they was doing. Like, it seemed like it was like another notch. Like, you know, how hard can I really go? Like, you know what I'm saying?
And to your point, that's probably why we have that mentality that it could be used to your advantage, and also depending on the situation, it can't. But that something to prove, you know what I'm saying? And being
Something
around
to
everybody, as long as you sparring, that's iron sharpening iron. It's like, okay, well, he just killed that. I'm inspired. Can I go that hard?
Yeah.
Oh, I did. Oh, he.
Yeah,
And then
because
it's a
you
cycle,
know,
it's a cycle.
like I knew as a kid that like I'm from Detroit, and there's a chance I might run into Eminem. There's a chance I might run into Royce da 5'9",
Right.
or whoever. Do you have some bars
You gotta be ready.
when you run into them and what if they say, all right, I want to battle you? Like, what if they just call you out just because you a kid?
Yep.
Oh, you think you fresh, little nigga? All right, well, shit. Let's go.
Rise to the occasion.
Right. So it's like, do I have anything that's going to match up? Or, you know what I mean? Like, at least, like, be as good as, at least, or be better than.
Right.
So, you know, it's like, you always had to be ready. And it's like, I just knew that there was a chance that I could run into anybody. And, you know, Detroit is not impressed by nothing.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so it's like, you know what I'm saying? You can go your hardest, and they just gonna be sitting there with a stone face, dog.
We actually the place our motto should be, if you make it here, you make it anywhere.
This is a tough audience here, okay? We talking about the blackest city in the whole world, not just America. This is the blackest city in the whole world. I mean, think about this, right? African Americans are some of the most influential people in the world, right? And this is the city with the most of them, with the biggest amount of African Americans. We're over 85%, 80 to 85% black in this one city. No other city can claim that. I mean, not Atlanta, not LA, not New York, whatever. So this is like a test market. This is where the idea is gonna come from. This is an area that can make you cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If Detroit say you cool, you cool, because we not holding them up. We are not just going, hey, we not just gonna give you your props just cause, like, no, bro. Like, we gonna give you a hard time. Cause steel sharpens steel.
Exactly.
It's like, we know you fresh, but you ain't been to the east side in the last week. So, therefore, that we gonna take a point away. What? Hold on, bro. You know what I'm saying? But no, we gonna give you. But that's why we are so, like, to the level we are, because
it's a standard.
Our standard is like, it's so through the roof. It's like, like the Renaissance Center. Like, I mean, yeah, but my man dunked like 3 times. You only dunked once. It's like they gonna compare, like, but my cousin rap, so it don't even matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like we don't care.
Right.
They don't care. We don't care. We're not impressed. You got to do something very impressive to impress a Detroiter. Like make the Rapture album by Anita Baker. Like, that album is one of the best albums of all time. And I feel like, well, Michael Powell and Anita Baker, and what's it do with Sir Gant, I just learned about, to help produce that. They was going crazy in the studio. They had to, like, to get Mason in the morning to play your music, like,
right, yeah.
Mojo and them, you know what I'm saying? They like, no, we gotta come with it. I mean, hey, if y'all haven't listened back to that Anita Baker Rapture, bro, recently, take a listen to it, man. Every song on there was on the radio, bro.
Right.
I think it's like 8 songs on there. I think 7 of the 8 songs was singles, bro. I don't know if they had videos back then. It's 86.
Man.
So I started thinking about what else was out in 86. I'm like, okay, Keith Sweat might have came out like 87, 88. They came with the New Jack Swing.
Right.
But I ain't gonna lie, Anita Baker, she came with the, boy, how did she make you feel rich when you was in the hood? Like, her music sounded so rich. Like, all you had to do was put on some dress clothes and you just thought you was rich. Like, you had no idea you was poor because you was listening to Anita Baker. I don't understand. I mean, you still seeing hood stuff, but that it was like a level of classiness and elegance, as well as like Kim. Kim did the same thing too.
Right.
Like chemistry. Like, this guy, he had that Anita Baker type of effect. Like, his music was just like this classy. It was like a little jazzy type of thing, but man, I just remember every car in Detroit playing Kim.
Right.
That was a thing, though, and it's probably to this day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I've seen, like, different artists like be very popular in Detroit, such as like Young Jeezy, Kim, probably DJ Assault.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Doughboys, Vezzo. I've seen like where every car is playing this. You know what I'm saying? So, but Anita Baker is one of them for sure. So shout out to her, man, Auntie Anita.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I know Aretha Franklin was probably like that in the Motown era. We missed that era, so.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But as far as when I grew up, that's what I was hearing out of every car.
Exactly, man. And man, that's a great, man, you took me back, and as usual, man, it's always a great time, man.
Oh, man.
I appreciate the insight always. And
oh, man, listen, man, we just chopping it up, having a good conversation, man. You know what I mean? And just shout out to the whole world. I ain't even gonna just break it down to no local, you know what I mean?
The earth is our turf, man.
The earth is our turf, man. It's always a treat when the players meet.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Hey, and what's the best way for people to follow you, stay updated with what you're doing, man?
Nick Speed ENT on all platforms. Look out for me. I got plenty of stuff coming through, man.
Plenty out now.
Yeah. You know what, man? I be trying to give them little doses. You know what I'm saying? Like not too much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to figure out how much I'm gonna give the people. So I'm working on, building it up to it might be 12 posts a day like Snoop Dogg. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you look at Snoop Dogg page, he got like 12 posts a day.
Nice.
At least.
Dope.
It's crazy. So I'm trying to get to that point. You know what I mean?
Right.
I gotta find some more content, man. Content creators, get at me. Nick Speed, ENT. The very legendary host right here, man.
Man, it's an honor. Thank you. And thank you all for tuning in. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Chris Massey Show. Special thanks to our official sponsor, the inspirational lifestyle brand Legendary. Their motto is believers become innovators, innovators become legendary. Follow them at LGNDRE. Check out the website, lgndre.com. Once again, thank you, Nick. Looking forward to working with you again.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks, Chris.
Appreciate you.
Love.
Peace.
Salute.